Hello, travel biz owner. Welcome to my corner of the travel industry, the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Podcast. If you're ready to have fun, be inspired, get clarity, and take action in your travel business, then you're in the right place. Let's jump in. Hello, everyone. Nice to have you here on the podcast like normal. Happy July. Happy super summertime. If you are listening and you're at an airport or on a cruise ship, wherever your travels may be leading you this summer, thank you so much for being here and tuning in. I actually had a different topic for this week's podcast, and then a whole new social media app decided that it was going to come on the scene, and I was like, we need to talk about this. And so if you haven't heard or you haven't been following me, this is the story of how I found out about Threads. On Wednesday afternoon, there was either an Instagram story or somebody had reposted that Instagram was coming out with an app to rival Twitter. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't really use Twitter in my everyday life or in my professional life, so it doesn't really matter. This doesn't pertain to me. Later that day, and it was supposed to be announced that Threads was going live on Thursday? Yes, Thursday. And nope, it launched later that evening. I literally went into the shower, came out of the shower, and all the buzz was about this new Threads app. And I was like, well, I need to go on it. And if you've, again, followed me for a little bit of time, you know that I am not a fan of adopting new social media platforms. And so I feel like it was somewhat a little out of character. So let me also fill you in a little bit on why I decided to kind of jump in on Threads so quickly is because yes, it is a completely separate app. You have to download a different app outside of Instagram. But because it is created by the folks at Instagram, the download process and the onboarding process to get an account was super easy because you could just use pretty much copy paste what is ever on your Instagram account. It will migrate that information to this new Threads account. So for that reason of the pure ease, I was like, well, we got to do this. And then secondly, it's not really you're learning a whole new platform because of that strong, I guess, connection with Instagram, because it is an Instagram app. It is part of the Meta Business Suite, which is, some people have brought up some concerns that Meta's taking over all of social media. And I don't really have thoughts on that just yet. I really just have my overview thoughts on what I think about Threads, which it is so many people giving and obviously my thoughts are incoherent because it's such a new thing and it's it's so exciting and it's so much fun. And I think that is what the beauty of this new platform is. A lot of people are feeling the weight and the pressure of kind of posting on social media go away with this new Threads app. The thought that you have to constantly be creating things like graphics and videos and all that, it's lowering the ball because on Threads, it works just like Twitter because Twitter just recently came out with all these limitations. Threads doesn't really have any limitations. So you can have unlimited characters as far as I know. There might be more rules and things that come into play in the next couple of days or weeks that it's live and all that, but right now it's a huge playground, and I love that it's just a really fun place. And you know me, I always talk about conversations and starting conversations or joining conversations, and I think that's been the most fun part for me, is that I can authentically connect with somebody on a platform that is very low low effort, but also low, like we're connecting for the pure, for the purest form of connection itself, like to connect with another human being. And it's that connection that makes you want to get to know a person a little bit better or see what they're doing. So it is just, it's like business before social media got all the bells and whistles to do business. And a lot of people just saying that this is very reminiscent. And I don't know about you. I'm an elder millennial. So I grew up both like utilizing a desktop for all sorts of computer games, and just had so much fun with like all the games that you could put, floppy disks and all that. Yes, I remember all of that because I grew up with that. So I'm not in the era of Gen Z or younger millennials who like technology was like spoon fed to them. I feel like the millennial and elder millennial generation kind of transitioned to like when we were finding out about the boom in technology and what we could really do. And then we got cell phones. I got my first cell phone when I was 16, which like that is a really old age now for kids to be getting a cell phone because they get them much younger nowadays. And so a lot of people are just saying how reminiscent it was of like almost a fun, wild, wild west where now there's a lot of like weird stuff that's happening on here. And there's a lot of things that are giving me like, I feel like I should be interacting more, because there's so many people that are making so many threads, and threads are what you would call posts on this platform, which is and I know I made a post. I'm like, I feel like I'm the weirdo back in high school again because people are posting such random stuff right now. And I would say there is a big, there's a big focus with a lot of business owners, like fellow business owners, please don't mess this up because we need to protect like this amazing environment that's created now. Like there's no ads, there's no following of hashtags. Like it really is just pure conversation. And if you're trying to look for a platform that's in its infancy that can help give you a lot of reach, like definitely you're going to want to try Threads. I mean, that's a lot of why we go into social media as business owners, because we want to be able to reach new people that probably didn't have access to us prior to that. And we also did not have access to them. So it goes both ways. I am not really seeing too many salesy posts, thankfully, on this platform. And I think that's also a benefit. Like nobody wants to see salesy posts. It really is, if you are trying to utilize this platform to make sales, like I would first come out of it, not that you are like, this is who I am, I work with these types of people. Like I would not come out of it like that way at all. I would really come out of it like this is modern networking. We're going into a networking room. Like I like to use the party analogy. So this is the party that's happening on Threads. And so many people are talking about, just the Taylor Swift album just went live. And so many people talking about that. Like I skipped those conversations. I'm not a Swiftie or anything. I don't knock you if you are, because I do like her music still. I am just not into the big fandom. But I am into having like random travel conversations. I just did 2 Truths and a Lie with Kimber from Sequence Software on there. So these like fun types of things that wouldn't have normally come into conversation, or it would have normally, like you're getting to know people on a more personal level. Like, favorite Grampy Travels. Hello, if you're listening in on the podcast. We were recently talking about, he went to Epcot, and at the Epcot at the Germany Beer Garden Pavilion, they sell those humongous pretzels. And so he had asked, have you ever had one of these pretzels before? And I was like, I haven't. Yes, I have one, but I actually used to sell those. I don't know how that kind of conversation would have spurred without that happening. So And that's what I love about this, because I feel like all the other social media platforms, while yes, we can be fun and lighthearted and all that, I feel just like with over time, there is that pressure to create content and like have a purpose and have a meaning. You know, I've talked about that before. And I'm not saying that there's no meaning in this threads. It is just lighthearted and genuine, and I'm getting to know you, and I want to connect with different people. Like, I've started connecting with people who I didn't know about before, but because it's like, again, it is like this wild, wild west, like this super fun, wild, you know, somebody put up a meme or a GIF, and I was like, this is the perfect, like, it was perfection. And I reshared it on my threads, where people from Twitter walking into like threads, and you know that scene from Mrs. Doubtfire when the mom comes and there's that big party at the house? That's what's happening on threads now. Like, and I feel people who conventionally use social media are like the mom, and they're like, what the heck is going on now? Where some of the rest of us are kind of like relieved and are like, oh my gosh, this is like this fun new thing that's happening in the world. So, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to circle back to like some of the takeaways. Like, do I think you need to be on it? I would try being on it. Like, I don't think you shouldn't be on it. At least that's my 2 cents for now. If not for the very least, just to have a little bit of fun on social media, bring the fun back, because you know I'm all about the fun too. What should you be posting on threads right now? And really the things that are getting a lot of engagement, they aren't those things saying like, hey, I'm so-and-so. Like, the salesy posts are not working right now. What's working is really opening up that conversation. This can be quirky. This can be fun. Like, this is like really, like, we talk about authenticity a lot. Like, people are being really real, like that filter. And I think it has a lot to do with like it's just text. Now you can do photos, you can do some video, like you can add that on. That's not really what's garnering a lot more of attention. It's really the thoughts that people are writing as like their own original threads, or what they're contributing to the conversation. And that's it's almost like this huge group chat that's happening, and each person there is a different member of your family. You know, you're gonna get those like, what is this person talking about right now? And then you're gonna get other things that are like, oh my gosh, like this is totally my jam, like I need to learn more. And really it gets back to the roots of pure business. Like, this is what business is, and it's what's meant to be. Like, you're supposed to find people who you really want, like you like and you want to do business with. So yeah, I wouldn't, it is more like opening the conversation. Like, you know how I always talk about calls to action? It's really like, what's a thought that you have, and how can you invite people into a conversation about that thought that you have? And it can also be just simple ramblings, like what I put. My first thread was, I got into the shower and it came out, and a whole new social media app was booming, and everybody's like, yeah, I know. So it is really a party. If you are looking for something light that doesn't like have too much of investment, now I will say threads is a time suck because and that's like where I also have to, I know a lot of people are like putting timers on. That's what I would caution you on, is that you can like delve deep because you're trying to look for conversations and see what people are putting out there. And I think like a lot of the beneficial posts that are coming out there too are getting people's perspectives on other things, like not selling them, but having them talk about things that are relevant to the work that they do. So I feel like this is also going to be a really great platform to meet people because these conversations are happening. And this can be meeting people that may be referral partners, they may be ideal clients down the line. But I really see a lot of collaboration happening from here. Like I'm already seeing like people asking for ideas and potential guests for shows and things like that. And it's this huge collaboration. Like I feel like that is going to be one of the biggest and most beneficial powers of Threads, is the power to be able to collaborate with people you may not have had access to normally on the platform. Because I've had Instagram and used Instagram for years, but there are still people that I'm meeting and that I think are cool. And I think it's just the pure, like, and that's why I say like it's somewhat LinkedIn-y in the sense that if somebody's commenting on a conversation that maybe you're not connected with, you can be connected with them if you like what they have to say and all that from this platform. So I really do appreciate that factor as well. You cannot direct message. And that's like, you can't have, I think, just one link right now. Like I mentioned, you can transfer everything from your Instagram platform to this new Threads account. But I have also kind of made like some slight, just minor changes in my bio because I wanted it to be, again, showing off who I am as a person as well. And not necessarily like, here's my billboard because I'm trying to sell things and make a living here. So yeah, sales posts, no. Collaboration and conversation posts, yes. And this is not like, I'm not pitching myself as like a strategic expert on Threads. And if anybody is, like they can't. It's only been open for 2 days. So really, this is just my viewpoint, sharing my excitement about this new platform, how you might be able to utilize it for your own business, and also sharing what I'm seeing are like really great things and what the community on Threads wants to see, as opposed to the things that Threads doesn't want to see. So you don't want to be on that don't want to see type stuff, because when people are liking and commenting on your thread, that is how your visibility increases on this platform. And if you're not doing anything to increase that visibility, then you are misusing the platform. You are not using the platform to its best advantage. And again, when I say that you're going, like, you want to be using things that get you somewhere. Does it get you a collaboration? Does it get you a sale? Does it get you access to a person that you've always wanted to interview or had a guest blog post or whatever? There has to be an end game. Like, we're not just doing things to do things. I want you to be a little bit more methodical and strategic, while also at the same time having fun, because that is a big part of this platform. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'm not an expert on Threads, and I can maybe like guide you at least as to what posts that you can do and what you shouldn't be doing. If you did want to have a consultation, I just had 2 consultations, amazing consultations this week with 2 fellow travel business owners. And so if you're just needing to piggyback from somebody's like thoughts and strategy, being a fellow business owner and being in the travel industry world, feel free to sign up for a 1-hour consultation with me. I would just love to assist in giving clarity to you, and then also holding you accountable to whatever your marketing or business needs may be. Alrighty, that is it. That is the show today. Just super sweet and simple. And yeah, let's open up the conversation in the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur podcast to see how people are utilizing Threads for their own travel businesses, what has been useful to you. And then also, let's go ahead, like, let's make our own travel industry community, and let's start, I'm not saying this like cheesy follow for follow, but let's start following each other so that we can utilize Threads as a tool for the travel industry community to build ourselves higher and to help each other out. Remember, collaboration over competition, and having another way to connect with each other and like really discuss different things that are happening either within the travel industry as a business or as entrepreneurs ourselves is just going to help everyone in the outrun. Alrighty, have an amazing week, amazing day, amazing weekend. I will see you here next week. Thanks for joining me on the podcast today. Remember to check out the show notes for all relevant links and resources from today's show. See you next time.